So hello students, today we are going to learn part 3 of chapter number 5, that is arithmetic progressions. Okay, in the previous part we have learned how to decide whether the given sequence of number or the given list of number it forms an AP or not. Okay, now today we are going to learn how to find the nth term and what is nth term of an progression. Okay, so let us start with it. Now consider a list of numbers 147, 150, 153, 156 and so on. Okay, so in this list of numbers, now our first term is given by either A or A1, and that is 147. Second term A2 is 150 and third term A3 is 153. Now from this one we can find its D, that is value of D, which is given by difference of any two numbers. We have written here 150 minus 147, that is 3. Okay, now now A1 is written as 147. Okay, A2 can be written as A plus D. Okay, A means first term plus difference, so that is 147 plus 3, which is 150. Okay, now A3 can be written as second term plus difference. Okay, so second term is 150, so we have written 150 plus 3, that is 153. A4 can be written as third term plus difference, so that is 150 plus 3, 156. And in this way we can find any term. Okay, but the condition is that here in this formula we can see that if you want to find A2, you should know difference and the term before A2, that is A1. If you want to find A3, you should know difference and the term before A3, that is A2. Here also A4, for A4 we should know D and A3. Okay, now suppose if you are given with a series and with only value of A and D, then how to find any term in this series? Okay, for that we have to make one formula. Okay, we have to derive one formula. Okay, so let us now consider, already we have written values of this one, that is A1, A2 150, A3 153, A4 156. Now let us check, can we get the same values by any other method or not? So let us see. Now again, A1 is written as A equals to 147. Now A2 is written as A plus D, that is 147 plus 3, that is 150. Here also it was same. I am just copying this one so that it will be easy for us to cross check it. Okay, then now let us see how to get A3. Now here A3, as per our regular procedure, we write it as A2 plus D. Okay, now instead of this A2, okay, we know that A2 can be written as A plus D. Okay, so what we will do in the next step, this D as it is we have written here D, and this A2, instead of this A2 we can write its value, that is A plus D. So now we get A plus D plus D. Okay, so that is nothing but A plus 2D. Okay, now A3 we have written it as A plus 2D. Okay, now let us check, can we have the same value, that is 153 or not? Okay, let us put the values. So instead of A we will write there 147. Okay, plus 2 into value of D is 3. Okay, so we have written here 3, so we get finally 153. So here it can be seen that when we have written A3 as A2 plus D, and that time also we had 153, and when we write it as A plus 2D, at that time also it is 153. Let us consider one more number. Okay, A4. Now A4, our regular procedure, we write it as term before 4, that is A3 plus D. Now A3, it can be written as A plus 2D. Okay, so what we get now, A plus 2D plus D, So our final answer will be a plus 3d. Now let us check its value. So when we put the value, we get answer as 156. And what was our fourth term here? It was also 156. So we can make a general formula for this one. But before making that general formula, we can see that when we were having A3, we have written as A plus 2D. That is, here 3 was there. So 1 less than this 3, that is 2. So we have written here 2D. Here it was A4. Okay. Now here fourth term. So we have written it as A plus. Now 1 less than this number, that is 3D. So in this way, suppose if we are having A5. Okay, now A5, if you know the previous term, we can write it as A4 plus D, or we can also write A5 as A plus 4D. Similarly, A12 can be written as either A11 plus D, or A12 can be written as A plus 11D. Now in this chapter, we are going to use this method. Okay, now from this we come to know that suppose if you want to write the value of A100, so it can be written as A plus, now 1 less than 100, that is 99. So 99 D. Now how this formula is generated? Okay, so let us consider that instead of this 100 we have nth term. Okay, so nth term is given by n. Okay, so an equals to this a as it is here plus, now here this number is what, one less than this number, so here also we have to write one less than this number, so it can be written as n minus 1 and this d. Now this is nothing but our general formula for finding nth term. Okay, now remember in this formula we have some values. Okay, let us see one by one. A is nothing but our first term. Okay, D is what? That is our common difference. Now N is what? It is nth term, that is term number, we can say term number. Okay, and this an is what? It is the value of that term, so here I am writing its term value. Okay, now this is the difference between an and n, and represents term number, that is which term. Okay, and an represents that term's value. Okay, so now in this near about four unknown things are there, 1, 2, 3 and 4. Out of this 4, if you have any 3, you can find the fourth one. Now let us solve some examples based on this one, then it will be easy for us to solve. So now here we will consider the same list, 147, 150, 153 and 156. Now remember that we can use this formula only if the given list of number forms an AP. Okay, so we will consider that this is already an AP. Okay, now you can find any term. Suppose now if you want to find 56th term. Okay, so here we have a list of number. Let us write the question first. Find 56th term. Okay, so now first we have to write the value, that is this all values, out of this whatever values we are getting, that we have to mention. Okay, so here a equals to 147, then D is not given, but D we can find from this one since it is an AP. So D equals to A2 minus A1, that is 150 minus 147, that equals to 3. Then next, what value we can have? So we have to find 56th term. So it is nothing but a value of n. Okay, so n equals to 56. Now 56th term means we have to find A56. Okay, that is nth term. So finally, an equals to question mark. Okay, now We know the formula, that is an equals to a plus n minus 1 into d. So a equals to how much? 147. So that values we will put here. Now here n means we have to find 56th term. So I have written here a 56 equals to value of a 147 plus value of n, that is 56. So we have written here 56 minus 1, value of d, that is 3. Now after this, first this subtraction, then multiplied by 3, then add to this number. Okay, so we get it as 147 plus 56 minus 1, 55 into 3. Now 55 into 3, so that is 165, and finally 165 plus 147, so our answer will be 312. So what does it mean? That the value of a 56th term, that is A56, is how much? 312. So in this way, by knowing the value of A, D and N, we can find the value of any term. Okay, let us consider some more example. Now suppose here we have a list of number minus 10, minus 12, minus 14 and so on, and this is an AP. And suppose if it is given that find 211th term. Okay, a 211th term means that is A211. Okay, this we have to find. For that, what we should know? We should know the value of A. So yes, we can find the value of A, that is A10. Okay, so now here A equals to minus 10, then D we can find by doing the subtraction of the first two terms. So minus 12 minus 10. Okay, this will become plus, so you'll get minus 12 plus 10. Our answer will be minus 2. Then which term we have to find? So 211th term, so we can write here n equals to 211. Then finally we have to find an. Okay, so now we know the formula, an equals to a plus n minus 1 into d. Now we want to find 211 term, so we will write A211 equals to, now value of A, that is minus 10 we have written here, plus value of N, that is 211, so 211 minus 1, bracket complete. Now remember that this minus 2 means here multiplication sign is there. Okay, so in next step we will get, now first we have to solve this bracket, so minus 10 plus 211 minus 1, 210 into minus 2. Okay, now this multiplication you will get minus 420. Okay, and now again both of them are having same sign, so our final answer will be minus 430. So here what we have done, we were having a list of numbers. From this list of numbers we got which value? We got value of the 211 term. Okay, now let us consider one more example. Now here it is given that find the 10th term of an AP 2, 7, 12. So what we have to do for finding any term, we should have the value of A, D and N. Okay, so what will be the value of A? Sorry, this one is a different example. So now let us solve our next example. Suppose if we are given with a value of A, value of D and value of A, that is term value is given, but we have to find which term is that one. Okay, so how to find it? So regular procedure, our same formula, that is A plus n minus 1 into D. Now we have value of an, so we will put that value. So an is 3.6, first term is minus 18.9, that also we have written plus. Now n we don't know, so we'll keep it as it is, n minus 1 into d is 2.5. Okay, now in next step, first we'll change the side of this minus 18.9, here it is subtracting, on the other side it will add. Okay, then remaining as it is. Now 3.6 plus 18.9 is given as 22.5. Now finally 22.5. Now this 2.5 is multiplying here. Okay, if you change its side it will divide. Okay, so what you will get, 22.5 divided by 2.5 equals to n minus 1. So finally, now we can, if you are getting confused, we can move this decimal. If this decimal is moving one digit to the right, then this should also move. So we get 225 upon 25. Now 25 ones are 25 nines are. Okay, so in the next step we get 9 equals to n minus 1. Now we will change the side of this minus 1. If it goes on this side it will become plus, so you will get 9 plus 1. So finally n equals to 10. Now remember that the value of this n, it should be always a natural number. That is, it should be always a positive number. Is it clear? Natural means starting from 1 and so on up to infinity. It should never be negative. It should never be in terms of a fraction. Okay. So this much is enough for today. Hope you all must have understood the content up till here. Thank you. Have a nice day.